Hey everybody, do you like changing your tire? Do you like changing a flat tire? The answer is no, I'm sure. But when you have to change a flat tire, you're happy you know how to do it, right? Right. How about this one too? When's the last time you used your spare tire? Now, I know there's some people out there who drive crazy, drive on the shoulder of the road, picking up nails, but in general, how often do you change your tire because it's flat? It's probably rare. So the question is, if you don't use it, why do you carry it? The same thing could be said about a firearm. If you're not going to use it, why carry it? You're carrying a firearm and you're carrying a spare tire, excuse me, just because in case something happens. Well, I want to add to that. What if something happens and your equipment is no longer accessible or it's damaged and you have to use equipment that's somebody else's from somewhere else? And it might be a different brand, different make, a different model, but it gets the same thing done. The job gets done, it's just with different equipment. Are you gonna fumble with that equipment? Let's say time is of the essence and you need to use this equipment. Are you gonna go, let me get the owner's manual out, let me read it, or are you gonna have a basic general knowledge of how a certain equipment works for your sustainability, whether it's a vehicle or your life, okay? What I was doing, I was reading some stories and I came up with this one, and this is funny. It's not only funny, it's informative. And not only funny and informative, it's kind of one of those things that cascades one bad thing into the next. I'm going to read this real quick, which is going to get me into this training video as to why you need to learn mechanics. This is coming from Chicago 5, NBC Chicago 5 News. It says this guy, the headline reads, robbery victim grabs gun, escapes car, shoots assailant. This guy is, I'm walking into the store, minding my own business, and a car full of juveniles pull up to the side. A guy gets out pointing a gun at me in the car and says, we're going to the ATM. There's a bunch of people in there, he says. I'm not going to argue. So the man told police that a group of juveniles ordered him into a car, then took his wallet, ATM card, a PIN number before stopping at a local restaurant to unload some people. This is crazy. Two of the alleged robbers then tried to exchange the gun from the back to the front seat, but it discharged and apparently hit one of the robbers, a woman. All of a sudden, the guy says, by the grace of God, between these two fools, I hear a boom, and then I hear a hollering and a screaming. I shot my finger off. I shot it off, the victim said. The driver starts panicking, and he goes right into the dumpster. The victim managed to grab the gun and escaped the car, then fired a warning shot towards the fleeing robbers, accidentally striking and killing the woman. The woman was 21 years old, was pronounced dead, and one police official reportedly told the unidentified man, you're either lucky or you're crazy. So this is a whacked out story from start to finish, okay? But it brought to me this question, and that is, do you know how to use your equipment? If you're gonna grab a piece of equipment from the bad guy, are you able to figure out the common threads with all the different types of guns out there? You got pistols and you got revolvers. There's a difference between the two, but there's a common thread between pistols and there's a common thread in revolvers. But today we're talking about pistols. And the common thread I want to talk about today is releasing the slide. If you've seen cowboy movies and you've seen TV shows, Gunsmokes, and things like that, you'll see them putting saddles on a horse. So you got the horse, the saddle goes over the spine, it's draped over either side of the animal, saddling the horse. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to take that saddling and use it on a firearm. And we're going to saddle the firearm to be able to release the slide. But before we do that, I want to talk about different guns and how they all have different types of slide releases. It's a slide stop where you press it down, slide release. Here's an example. I've got 5 different guns, makes, and models. The first one here is a Bersa. This one's the Plus model. Takes 15 rounds. Pretty nice gun. If you'll notice on this firearm, the slide lock is right there. Now, all these weapons have no magazine and the chambers have been checked, okay? The slide stop is on the left side of the gun as you're looking down the barrel. It's about maybe an inch long and it sticks out, protrudes out where your thumb can get out. No big deal. The next we have the Glock Model 45 9mm. If you'll notice, this slide stop is very flat. There's no real texture to grab on it. You can replace it with something else, but stock comes like this, and it's meant for a reason. It's meant to be slick, so it doesn't catch on stuff. But in the heat of the moment, when you want to release your slide, that may cause a problem. So we want to remember that. Next one, we have old school John Browning. This is a copy of a Browning High Power. If you look at this slide stop, it's long and it's got a nice chunk of metal at the end that you can hold on to release the slide. Moving over to our Model 92 Beretta. This one also has a long slide stop and a protrusion sticking out for your finger to hit it and release it. Now, how about this one? This is a Hungarian PA63. This one's a 380 model. You'll notice there is no slide stop. It's like a slick bar of soap. That's so it can go in and out of the holster in your clothing without snagging. It's minimalistic. Well, let me show you something. First, I'm going to show you how the slides are released with the device that is provided by the manufacturer. So we go to the Bursa, we release the slide, we put our finger on the slide stop, and it goes. Glock Model 45, finger on it, and it goes. Browning, copy of Browning High Power, finger on it, and it goes. Beretta, finger on it, and it goes. Your Hungarian PA63, oops, there is none. You release it, okay? Now the reason I did that, I wanted you to see how I looked every time to see where the slide stop was. We don't do that when we're in a situation of life or death. There's no time to do that. So let me reset these and show you what the common thread is on all these automatic pistols. So if you're picking up a battlefield pickup, we'll say, because yours isn't working or you were able to grab the threat's firearm, and for some reason you have to put it back into battery because the slide is locked to the rear, I'm going to show you very quickly the common thread. And this is where saddling of the horse comes in. When we go to release the slide, instead of finding the slide stop, we're going to take our weak hand and saddle the receiver, or the slide. We're going to put our palm on one side, wrap over the top, fingers on the other. We're going to pull and let it go. Pull, let it go. Pull, let it go. Pull, let it go. Pull, let it go. That's the only thing I did. I pick up the gun, pull and let it go. Same thing with all these. Now there's one other little caveat that I want to share with you about saddling the slide and releasing it, what happens when you do it that way. If I just release the slide with my finger, watch what happens. It goes. But if I release the slide by saddling it, you have to pay attention to this. I want you to watch this slide move back about another 1/8 of an inch. I'm able to compress it just about another 1/8 of an inch. See that? What that did was it gave the spring more power to propel the slide forward and to engage that cartridge into the chamber solidly. You don't ever want to ride the slide. That's going to cause problems. You want to engage it fully to make sure that that cartridge is seated in the chamber to minimize any other type of malfunctions. So there's your tip of the day. The common thread is that why use a slide stop to release the slide when you can just saddle it and let her go.